Hello and welcome. You have found your way to the Slumber Vault. You can let go of everything else now. This time and this place is just for you. Find your most comfortable position, settling deep into the mattress, feeling the soft weight of the blankets over you like a gentle, protective hug. Let your eyes drift closed, and let's begin by breathing. There is no need to change a thing. Just notice your breath. Let's take a slow, gentle breath in, filling your lungs with the quiet, calm air of the room, and then a long, soft sigh out, letting the day and all of its cares just dissolve. Let's do that once more. A slow breath in, imagining peace like a cool silver light, and a slow breath out, feeling your body soften and grow heavy. Feel your body sinking into the surface beneath you. You are completely supported. You are safe. Let a feeling of stillness begin at the very tips of your toes, a soft, warm, heavy feeling. This gentle stillness flows up into your feet and your ankles, letting them go completely. Feel it drift up into your calves and your knees, so heavy, so wonderfully heavy. And this peaceful feeling rises into your thighs, letting go of all effort. Feel your shoulders melting, dropping away from your ears. Feel your arms, heavy and warm at your sides. Even your hands are at rest, soft and open. You are resting now, floating in this quiet, safe space. Tonight, our story takes us to a place hidden from the world. We are not going on a loud adventure, but a quiet discovery. We are journeying to a hidden valley, a place of ancient quiet and gentle, sleeping mysteries. There is no need to try, no need to do anything at all. Just allow my voice and the story to be your gentle guide as you drift and dream. You are safe here. Everything is quiet. And your journey into rest begins now. Our story begins in a forest of tall, silver-barked trees that always seem to be touched by moonlight. And here we find Ilara. Ilara is a seed finder. She is not an explorer of loud new worlds. She is a finder of small, quiet, overlooked things. The tiny curled up fern, the seed pod that looks like a little wooden star, the single forgotten white feather. She moves through the world gently. She carries a soft linen bag for her seeds and a small brass magnifying glass to see the beauty in the smallest details. Today, Ilara was not lost. She was simply drifting. She had been following a butterfly, a tiny, shimmering butterfly, the color of soft mint and winter frost. It had danced just ahead of her through the cool silverwood forest. The air there was crisp and smelled of damp earth and sleeping pine. The little butterfly fluttered on, always just ahead, and Ilara, with her soft boots making no sound on the mossy path, she followed. She followed until the trees grew thick, and the little butterfly drifted straight toward a curtain, a thick, heavy curtain of silver-green Spanish moss that hung from a great ancient branch. It looked like the soft, woolly beard of a sleeping tree shepherd. Ilara reached out her hands. She gently parted the moss. It felt like parting a soft, old, familiar blanket. And she stepped through. The air changed instantly. It was no longer cool and crisp. It was warm, a deep, gentle, comforting warmth that seemed to rise up from the ground itself. And the smell was different too. It no longer smelled of pine. It smelled of old, sun-warmed stone, of dried chamomile flowers, and just a hint of warm, sweet milk. And the quiet, oh, the quiet was so deep, so profound. It was as if a great soft blanket of silence had been laid over the entire world. Ilara stood very still. She had stepped into a hidden valley, a wide, secret valley that she had never seen before. The light here was golden and soft, as if it was always just before sunset. And the valley was filled with hills, dozens of low, rounded, gentle hills. They were perfectly smooth and covered in the most beautiful moss she had ever seen. A deep, rich, emerald green. It looked like velvet. Ilara looked for the little mint blue butterfly. She saw it flutter once, twice in the warm golden air, and then it simply dissolved like a tiny, sparkling thought. Its work was done. Ilara took a slow, quiet step into the valley. Her soft boot sank slightly into the deep, plush moss, making no sound at all. She walked slowly towards the nearest hill. It was so round and so green. It looked so soft. She reached out her small hand and she placed it gently on the side of the mossy hill. It was softer than velvet, and it was warm. A gentle, living warmth pulsed just beneath the surface. She let her hand rest there, feeling that slow, steady, comforting heat. She leaned in just a little, and she listened. She put her ear very gently against the soft green moss, and she heard it. A sound so deep, so low, it was almost a feeling deep in her chest. a slow, deep mmm, a rhythmic rumble, like a great ancient sleeping engine made of earth and peace. It was a snore, the deepest, calmest, most peaceful snore in all the world. And then she felt it beneath her hand, beneath her feet. The whole soft green hill rose. Oh, so slowly, like a great, slow, gentle breath, lifting her hand just a little, and then, just as slowly, it fell. Ilara did not move. A soft, slow smile came to her face. Her eyes were wide with gentle, sleepy wonder. This was not a hill. She could see the shape of it now, the great, rounded curve of a shoulder, the long, sloping line of a back. This was a giant, a soft, moss-covered, sleeping giant. She looked around at the other hills, the other sleeping giants, resting in the warm golden air, safe in their secret valley. And they were beautiful. She felt so calm, so safe, standing in the quiet valley of the sleeping giants. Ilara stood perfectly still. She was not afraid. Here, in this valley, fear felt impossible. It was a place that only knew rest. She let her hand rest on the giant's mossy shoulder, feeling that slow, steady, endless breath, the rise and the fall, warm and ancient and alive. Her eyes had grown used to the soft, golden light, and as she looked very slowly up along the great curved mountain of the giant's back, she saw something else. Tiny pinpricks of light, not stars. No, these were warmer, softer. They glowed like the embers of a distant, peaceful fire, or like tiny, cozy windows in the dark. A gentle, sleepy curiosity pulled at her. She took her hand from the moss, and she began to walk, placing her feet so softly, her boots sank into the warm, plush moss, like walking on a deep, sleeping cloud. She was walking on the giant's back, and the giant did not stir. It simply breathed. She followed the tiny, warm lights, and soon she found them. A village, a tiny, impossible, gentle village. The houses were not made of wood or stone. They seemed to be woven from the giant's own soft green moss, with threads of silver and starlight. They were little, round, soft homes,
like little woven nests, and from their tiny round doorways a warm, honey-colored light spilled out. And then she saw them, the villagers, the keepers of the slumber. They were small, perhaps just the size of Ilara's hand. Their movements were not like human movements. They were impossibly slow, flowing like honey pouring in the sun, like a leaf turning in a slow, deep stream. Their clothes were also woven from the softest, silken moss fibers.
One of them turned. It saw Ilara, this great new person in their quiet world. It did not gasp. It did not startle. It simply stopped, and it looked at Ilara with eyes like old, kind starlight. A slow, sweet smile formed on its tiny face, and it raised one tiny, graceful finger to its tiny, smiling lips. Shh. It was the sound of a leaf falling on velvet, the sound of peas. Ilara smiled back, and she very slowly knelt down, sinking into the soft, warm moss. The little being gestured, a slow, flowing wave of its hand. Come. It was an invitation. It pointed to the work they were doing, inviting her to help. Ilara moved as if in a dream. She saw what they were doing now. It was the evening ritual, a task so quiet, so methodical. First, she watched as some of the keepers gently brushed the long hair-like strands of moss with tiny, soft thistle combs. And as they did, perfect glowing drops of dew formed. They collected this sleep dew in tiny, polished acorn cups. Then one of the keepers walked slowly to Ilara. It held a bowl, a smooth, heavy river stone bowl. It felt cool and solid in Ilara's hands. The keeper then gave her a stone pestle, just as smooth. Inside the bowl was a small pile of dried moss, a different moss. This one was silvery and blue. The keeper looked at her with its kind eyes, and it made a slow, circular, grinding motion with its own hands. Ilara understood. She began to move the pestle, round and round, a soft, dry, shushing sound. Shh. 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 The sound of the forest settling for the night, a gentle, rhythmic sleeping sound. And as she ground the moss, a scent rose up. Oh, the most beautiful, sleepy scent. The smell of dry lavender and deep, clean earth, and something like quiet starlight. The moss broke down into a fine, sparkling, pale blue powder, like crushed, gentle dreams. Another keeper came. It carried a tiny acorn cup filled with the glowing sleep dew, and it poured it slowly, so slowly, into Ilara's bowl. A tiny, soft hush as the dew met the powder. Now the keeper handed Ilara a small, smooth, polished white willow stick, and Ilara began to stir, round and round and round, hypnotic. The blue powder and the glowing dew swirled together. They formed a thick, soft paste. It was pearlescent. It glowed with a soft, gentle blue-white light, like liquid moonlight in her bowl. The task was not finished. All around her, the keepers were holding their own glowing bowls, and they were taking soft, round sponges. Ilara could see they were mushrooms, the softest, cloud-like mushrooms. They dipped their sponges into the glowing sleep balm, and then they walked to places on the giant's great back, where the skin was visible. A skin not like human skin, a skin like warm, polished, ancient rosewood, so smooth. And the keepers began to apply the balm in slow, circular, rhythmic, loving motions. A soft, shushing pat, a gentle, shushing stroke. A keeper came to Ilara. It offered her her own mushroom sponge. It was impossibly soft, like holding a piece of a warm cloud. Ilara dipped it into her bowl of moonlight paste. It felt cool and silky. She crawled just a little to a clear, warm place on the giant's shoulder. She placed the sponge gently against that ancient, warm skin, and she began her own slow, circular motion, round and round, the cool balm spreading, meeting the giant's warmth, the soft, shushing sound, the gentle glow of the balm, spreading like a tiny, sleepy galaxy. She forgot everything. There was only this rhythm, this quiet purpose, the smell of lavender and earth, the feeling of the warm, slow rise, and the gentle, slow fall of the giant's breath beneath her hands. She was mesmerized, lost in the most peaceful, gentle task she had ever known. She was a part of the quiet. She was a keeper too, and it was wonderful.
Round and round, Ilara's hand moved in that slow, sleepy circle. She had no thought of time. There was only the soft shush of the sponge, the warm, breathing skin, and the gentle lavender starlight scent. And then she noticed the sound was fading. The soft collective shushing from the other keepers was growing quieter and quieter until it stopped. Alara stopped too. Her hand rested on the giant's warm shoulder. Her little bowl was empty. The valley fell into an even deeper quiet, a soft, waiting stillness. And in this stillness, the light began to grow. The balm, the sleep balm that she and the keepers had so gently applied. It was glowing, not like a bright light, but like starlight trapped in pearl, a soft, silvery blue luminescence. The slow, circular patterns they had made were now constellations, tiny, sleepy galaxies drawn across the warm, dark skin of the giants. The light pulsed ever so slowly in time with the giant's breath. Ilara knelt in wonder. She looked across the valley. All of the sleeping giants were now illuminated, covered in beautiful, intricate, glowing patterns. The whole hidden valley was bathed in a soft, peaceful silver blue light.
And then, a sound. The giant beneath her let out a breath, not a sigh, but a long, slow, deep hum. It was a hum of pure, deep contentment, of perfect sleep. The vibration traveled up through the soft moss, up through Ilara's hands and her knees. It filled her with a feeling of the most profound and absolute peace she had ever known. She looked at the keepers. Their work was done. They were not cheering. They were not talking. They were just being. They turned their kind, ancient, starlit eyes towards Ilara, and they smiled. Slow, warm, welcoming smiles. One of them, the one who had first greeted her, walked slowly to her side. It carried a tiny, steaming cup carved from a single dark, smooth river stone. It held the cup up to her, an offering, a thank you. Ilara reached out with both hands. She took the tiny, warm cup. It fit perfectly in her palms. The warmth seeped into her skin. She lifted it slowly. A soft, sweet steam rose. It smelled of honey and chamomile and the same warm, milky scent of the valley. She took a tiny, careful sip. It was the taste of comfort itself, warm and sweet and sleepy. It flowed through her like a warm, gentle river, washing away anything that was not rest. Ilara sat down, cross-legged on the warm, breathing, mossy back of the glowing, sleeping giant. She sipped her warm, sweet tea. The keepers sat too.
They found their own comfortable places in the soft green moss. Some sipped from their own tiny cups. Others just watched the glowing constellations pulse on the giants in the peaceful blue light. No one spoke. There was no need for words. There were no words for this perfect, shared quiet. Ilara looked at the small, kind faces around her. She was not a stranger. She was not an explorer who had found a new land. She was simply here, a quiet person who had found a quiet place, who had helped with a quiet task. She felt the deep, slow rise and the gentle, slow fall of the giant beneath her. She felt the warmth of the cup in her hands. She felt the soft, kind presence of the keepers. She was safe. She was home. And everything in the whole, wide, sleeping world was perfectly, peacefully right. Her task was complete.
As Ilara sat in the soft blue glowing light, she finished her warm, sweet tea, and she felt her own eyelids growing heavy. So heavy, so warm. The deep, slow rise and the gentle, sleepy fall of the giant's breath was her rhythm now. It was the rhythm of the whole valley. It was the rhythm of sleep. And as Ilara sits there, feeling so safe and so wonderfully sleepy, wrapped in the softest moss, you can feel it too. You are there with her in this secret valley. You are resting on a bed as soft as velvet moss, as warm as the giant's gentle breathing skin. Feel the surface beneath you, holding you completely. You are so supported. You are so safe. Let your own breath begin to match that slow, ancient rhythm. The slow, easy rise of the giant's breath is your gentle inhale, and the long, soft fall is your peaceful exhale.
Breathing in the soft, blue, glowing peace. Breathing out, letting go of everything, sinking deeper. You are wrapped in that same profound quiet, protected by the valley, watched over by the kind, silent keepers. They are here to make sure your sleep is perfect. You have nothing to do, nowhere to be. Your only task is to rest. Feel how heavy your body has become, so wonderfully heavy. Your arms and legs are sinking into the soft, warm moss, heavy and warm and still. Your mind is quiet, like the valley at midnight. If a thought comes, just let it float by, like the little mint blue butterfly, glowing softly and dissolving into the peaceful air. You are glowing too, with that same sleepy starlight balm, a soft, peaceful light inside and out, a feeling of deep and total calm.
Ilara lays her head down on the soft velvet moss. Her eyes drift closed. She is asleep, safe on the back of the sleeping giant, and you are too. It is time to drift, to float on this deep, slow ocean of breath, this deep, warm, safe hum of sleep. You are drifting now, floating, sinking, letting go, resting in the slumber vault, resting in the valley of the sleeping giants. Good night. Sleep well. Sleep deep. Drift. Drift. Drift.